worst thing you can do is fucking live in fear. That's the worst thing you can do. I think fear. I think fear kills more people than fucking this pandemic will. It kills your dreams. It kills you before you die. You don't even realize you're fucking walking. You're dead. You're walking for years. Dead. Because there's a little tiny voice in your fucking head that says, "Ah, no, you can't fucking do this shit. Fucking, You're freaking out like, oh my god, no." You know what I mean? And then you're gonna be fucking, what, 60 years old saying, "I wish I fucking did." Fear is a fucking killer.
But I'm just gonna jump into it, man, like this. And this is Lucky. This here is Lucky. I'm gonna do like intro like 1,700 times.
It's fun.
Uh, what's going on? It's Omar from the Culinary Harassment here in quarantine. Just hanging out with my buddy Lucky over here. He's 13 years old. He's a runt of the litter, and he can't see on the left eye or hear in his left ear. He's got mangy hair. He's tiny. He never grew. His mom was gonna kill him. We saved him. And this little fucker is about like 13 years old now, so I think he's gonna outlive everybody. This guy doesn't fear nothing. You can learn a lot from the cats. You know what I mean? I want to talk about fear, because that's what everybody's like, really on right now. All right, so check this out. The fear is, how I understand fear. It's something that I create in my head. The fear is something that the thoughts and the story that I create in my head, based off of the things that I read, the things that I hear from people on the streets, people who I surround myself with. They share their feelings and thoughts. So all the information that I take in, I create story in my head behind it, and it can either be fear based, or I can pull something positive out of it. And I'll be honest with you, at the beginning of this whole coronavirus, I was pretty much with everybody else. I didn't really care for it. I didn't care for the news, for the media. I still don't really listen to it. But I had no fear. I was just thinking to myself, this is just like another SARS, like another swine flu. People were talking about pandemic, and I was just dismissing all these things. But when we started hearing that we're gonna be in a lockdown and well, it's not really a lockdown, but quarantine, which also isn't quarantine, in my opinion, since I'm allowed to leave the house to buy groceries or take a walk in the park. It took me back when I was little, 12 years old, 13 years old, during the war in Yugoslavia. And automatically, there was a little bit of a spark that could have taken me back to, oh my God, here we go again. But automatically, I realized the things that I'm grateful for that I have that we didn't have back then. You have a luxury of opening the window, letting the fresh air in, and taking a walk outside, because first, the virus isn't airborne. You know what I mean? You have Wi-Fi, you have running water, you can buy eggs and milk in the stores. There really isn't anything to fear. You know what I mean? Simply because I have no control over it. There's nothing I can do to make this go away. Nothing. Except stay at home, or keep my distance from people, wash my hands. But if you really think about it, I was kind of doing that even before the virus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't really staying real close to people on the subway. I always kept my distance, and I know a lot of people also have too. Yeah, you shake hands, you hug, this and that. But let me get back to the fear. Yeah. I just can't be scared. I don't know. Like, I can think about, like, what if something bad happens? You know what I'm saying? But what if something good happens? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say train myself, but I force myself to always think positive. You can find yourself in the worst situation ever. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna do comparing, why don't you compare and say like, you know what, somebody else has it worse. I'm grateful and I'm lucky that I don't. You know, and there's no such a thing as a perfect life. There's trials and tribulations for everybody. Right now, the whole world is going through it, but you know, to be scared of what's coming next, to sit there and you know what I mean, like, I don't know. It's very difficult for me to be afraid of something that I can't control. We're all gonna face death at one point in life. You know what I mean? People die from crossing the street not looking the right way because they're playing on their phone, they get hit by a car, or they're texting and driving, and they get an accident. Drug overdoses, stray bullets, all sorts of shit happens all the time. People die from natural causes and diseases. Death is coming for everybody. You can't get out of that. It's out of your control. Um, you're young and beautiful at one point, then you get fucking old and ugly and wrinkly. That's out of your fucking control. You know what I mean? You're little, you grow. It's like the shit changes. Life changes constantly. You have to be adaptable. There's a difference between being scared and having a fear. You know what I mean? I think getting scared is there's a health benefit to it because it's a legit emotional experience. You know, but fear, I believe that it's something that we create in our head. The story that we develop based off of information that we gather, and at this time in life, a lot of people have these fears of, catching, for example, the coronavirus. I can't be scared. It's out of my control. I have no control over it whatsoever. Like I can't put my finger on it. I can't, you can't do anything about it. You have to have faith in people who are on the front lines, nurses, doctors, to do the battle for you. Um, and I feel safe with them. You know what I mean? It's just it's I can easily panic. And but what does that get you? You lose your I don't know. You lose yourself. You have a miserable life. And if we live in such a horrible times where if we live in such a horrible times where we, you know, are facing this invisible death, then I'm definitely gonna live, and not in fear. Um, there's so many things I can do right now too that I've been doing. Um, besides petting my cat, is thinking about, what do I do for the next 10 years of my life? You sound like a pigeon. See this right here? How can you be scared? Get yourself a cat. There's a stray cat out there somewhere in your neighborhood. If you don't have a pet, you get a cat. Um, See, this is a distraction. You have to have healthy distractions. Blast from the past. All right, I wrote something 111 weeks ago. I didn't really I just kind of picked something, and this is something that got a lot of hits on. People really enjoyed this post, so let's see. Maybe there's some relevance to it today. Excuse me. So this was a throwback. I wrote it on Thursday, and there was a picture of myself when I was 12 years old. It was the last photo taken for the passport that I had in former Yugoslavia. Um, so I guess I'm writing about that part of my life, at that time of life. This is the last passport photo taken while I still lived in former Yugoslavia. Along with my generation, I'm the last of Tito's pioneers, and I truly miss this kid in those times. This here marks the beginning stages of innocence dying. All else that followed shaped me into the human I am now. We all have stories to tell, and the way I see it, my book is halfway written. The future is uncertain, and the dreams are few and alive. To be blessed, to still have my health, and love from family and friends makes me a wealthy man. Last year, I reconnected with friends I haven't seen in 25 years, and they said I haven't changed changed at all. The truth is, the shell that serves as a vessel carrying my spirit across the rigid terrain might have kept its original form, but the energy that burns within the walls of my being is something only few will understand. They know who they are and what role they play in each other's lives. Each time I look at this photo, I see a child I've buried a long time ago. It gives me a stronger purpose in life. I will always be eccentric, strange, weird to some, but the opinions of others always fall on deaf ears. Truth is unavoidable, and so is death. It only takes a matter of time for the light to shine true. Through. This is my Brooklyn accent. True. For those who find themselves in my words are blinding the pathway to the oncoming traffic. For it is people like us that have a backbone and standards we will not compromise on. Living with a sense of urgency is not to be alive, but to have a sense of urgency to change one's way of living is to grow and supersede all expectations based on opinions of others. Focus on yourself. If the words written and the words spoken are different kind of weapons, then silence and concealed arsenal of thoughts. Thoughts will manifest into reality, and reality is how you deal with people, places, and things on a regular basis. Those who seek ill will and revenge are poisoning their own wells, so there is no shame in walking away in silence. The only explanation you need is the understanding of self. Don't expect to be understood by others, but don't take shit and settle for less than you deserve. In the end, you live for yourself, and no one will do favors by putting their life on hold for you. While some people will try to milk you for all you're worth, while showering you with the gifts of fading love and support, there are always going to be the ones who will be there for you unconditionally. In order to attract them, you need to truly love and accept yourself. Some folks take better care of their cars, not realizing that the only vehicle that has any significant importance is already in ignition inside the battleship we know as the human body. Your GPS is built in your gut. Follow it unapologetically. To those about to cook, I salute you. It's funny. Right now, very few people are cooking. I'm only cooking at home. And I'm kind of grateful for that. You know what I mean? Having opportunity to just like, I'm actually cooking with my son. My son is actually pushing me out of the kitchen. It's pretty cool. Uh, doing small little things. It's for the first time. I had pictures of him when he was. What are you crying about? What? When he was little, I used to pull up the stool to the stove. I got those pictures. It's pretty cool. I'll send you one. He's maybe like 3 years old. Just like with the spatula, like moving shit around. And now, he's scaling ingredients for chocolate chip cookies, and I'm just like standing there like, it happened so fast. Beautiful things, man. You gotta focus on beautiful things in life. This is like the mini vacation that we're forced to be on without pay. You know what I mean? And instead of sitting here and thinking, man, I'm not gonna get any fucking money. How we gonna live? I'm thinking about I finally have that time that I always wanted, the free time to sit with my thoughts, to create the next battle plan. But not only that, to spend more time with my kid, um, to really start a new project, to pursue the dream that I always wanted. You know what I mean? It's. Or if you don't have a dream, like you can you can sit there and be like, okay, what do I do next? I don't like the kitchen that I work in. I forgot the number. It's like in hundreds of thousands, right? 300,000 people, or 800,000, right? I can't remember how many people was laid off in the food service industry. 800,000. Actually, I wrote it down here. We'll go. Post. Let me see. I like the blast from the past. That shit's cool. That she motivated the fuck out of me. Is it this one? Or is this one right here? I think. Yeah. 865,800 food service workers laid off. So that means when you're going, when all this shit blows over, the opportunities for job are going to be tremendous. You know what I mean? You will have opportunity to work in the kitchen that you wanted to work. All you gotta do is not just apply, but you gotta, if you already know that you don't like your work environment, and start looking where you want to be in life. So slowly, when this shit fucking comes to an end, you should already be in contact with people who are ready to gun down and hit the floor running, and get on the boat with them. Um, Because let me tell you something. A lot of these establishments, they're still fighting for their life. They didn't give up. They didn't throw in the towel. You know what I mean? They're sitting there and playing like, what do I do? I don't want to lose my business. I don't want to lose my kitchen. I gotta get out of here. I got to get out of this situation. I gotta survive. So, if you don't like the kitchen that you're in, get on a boat with the people that you want to be on. And but then also, like, there's a lot of places that I know they opened up. That's unfortunate. You know what I mean?
The fear doesn't exist. Like there's no actual, like you can't put a finger on it. There isn't, like, what's fear? You make that shit up. You understand that, right? Fear is what you believe. I mean, you got all the time in the world now. This is what you motherfuckers were dreaming about. If I only had time. What I'm saying is, like, it's like motherfuckers, like they cry about not having enough time to do shit, and now when they got all the time in the fucking world, they don't know what the fuck to do with it. You know what I mean? So the question is, like, do you really know what you want to do with your life? You know what I'm saying? And if you really have that passion, desire, dream to do something, this is when you take the piece of paper and a pen, and you start fucking putting down a blueprint.